When I was a kid, I really wanted to be an astronaut. Astronauts were so cool. The space suits, going into space, floating in 0 Gs. It looked amazing, you know. I wanted to be in outer space, maybe meet an alien if they exist. It all looked amazing until I looked up the requirements to become one for NASA. Yeah, I literally have almost no qualifications to become one. So that's not gonna happen, right? And it dawned on me, the reality at such a young age, that I would probably not be one, and I would probably have to work or find some type of job, a typical 9-to-5 job that I would have to do for the rest of my life. And there's a ton of reasons why I and a lot of people nowadays absolutely despise working a 9-to-5, a typical job like that. You know, the monotonous hours, the 40-hour work week, the no free time, the practically working for somebody else, the sitting at a desk all day, right? All these reasons why people are so repulsed nowadays by working a typical job. And don't get me wrong, I completely agree, but I think 9-to-5s get a lot more hate than they deserve, because society would literally not function without 9-to-5 jobs. But I found that personally, it's not something that I could do for the rest of my life. And I think you probably feel the same way by clicking on this video. I can't work a 9-to-5 job. This is the title of a ton of YouTube videos that I'm seeing going across my YouTube page. And it's a ton of people pretty much complaining and shitting on the 9-to-5 system, which I completely understand, right? But the thing is that none of these videos are telling us what to do after. Like, we don't like 9-to-5s, we don't want to do that. So what are we gonna do now? What is the other option? What is the other path that we can take? Right? There's a ton of YouTubers and social media influencers out there saying like, completely drop everything, drop out of college, give it all up and go full in on content creation and going online or trying to start a business. That's a terrible fucking idea. If you're like 18, 20, 21, you got your entire future ahead of you and you're like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna drop out of school and try to make YouTube videos. That's a terrible idea. Do not listen to the special case top 1% of influencers that have gotten successful over millions of kids, of young adults nowadays who have failed. So in this video, I want to be completely real and transparent with you and give you a path, or at least an idea, of what you can do instead of working a 9-to-5, right? A career that will actually give us the things that you and I want, right? We want more free time. We want to be able to go on vacations whenever we want. Obviously, we want to be paid well. We want a flexible schedule. We want to be able to fund the kind of lifestyle that we want to live, right? Okay, so that's what I'm going to talk about in this video. See, I've had a lot of different jobs. I used to work at McDonald's when I was in high school, where literally we would get into a fight over some random Karen every single day. You're dealing with shitty customers every single day, fast-paced work environment. And I was working back when minimum wage was like $10.50. So it sucked. I've been in the military. I joined when I was 18 years old, fresh out of high school, for 4 years of my entire life. Signed my life away to the government. You know, to avoid the debt of college and not knowing what I wanted to do with my life. Don't regret it at all. I've worked as a personal trainer at a gym, you know, teaching people exercise routines and workouts. And I've even worked as an Amazon delivery driver, which is probably the worst job I ever had, and I talk about it all in a video on my channel. I'll put a link to it below. But what am I doing now, right? How am I trying to avoid this 9-to-5 life? Well, I just started a school program to become a physical therapist assistant. But the point is, I've had my fair amount of jobs, you know. I've had the monotony of doing the same thing every single day for years. The sort of boredom that you might get, right? But the thing about 9-to-5s is they offer you a stable career, hopefully. There's a level of comfortability that you have, you know, you get your 2 weeks of vacation every single year. You get the weekends off. It's not a terrible life that a lot of people are saying, but it could be a lot better, right? Like, we don't want to be sitting at a desk all day rotting, same thing every single day for what, 65 years? Because you see, that's the old way of doing things, right? The working 5 days a week and you only get 2 days off, that's a terrible fucking trade. Working 40 hours a week, you barely get any free time to do the things that you want to do. You have to commute in traffic all day, and it's just, you know how it is. But I'm not going to complain about it in this video, okay? So I'm going to create a plan of action for you. I want to give you some options on what you can do with your life. We need to figure out the kind of lifestyle that you want to live, how much it's going to cost you, and then you're literally going to have to choose a career that you wouldn't mind doing in order to fund that lifestyle. So preferably not, you know, office work or something that you don't enjoy doing. So in this next step, I literally want to calculate it for you, right? And I'm going to use myself as an example. Everyone's going to be completely different. Your situation is going to be different. The lifestyle that you want to live, how much rent it costs, how much it costs you in general, right? This is all going to be different. But I'm going to do this for me so that you kind of have an idea about how it's going to go for you. We need to know how much money we need to support the life that we want to live. So I live in Sacramento, California, right? One of the most expensive states to live in, one of the most expensive cities to live in the entire country, okay? So I found that our rent, whether it's an apartment or a house, whatever, the average of that is $2,200. Now we're gonna factor in hobbies and things you like to do, right? Subscriptions that you have to pay for. So for the gym, in my area, an average gym membership is anywhere from about 20 bucks to 50 bucks a month. Right, I also train martial arts, so an average martial arts gym is over $100 easily a month. Now we have car payments, insurance, things like that, right? I already paid off my car, so I don't have to worry about that. Right, my car insurance is about 200 bucks a month. Random subscriptions that I have, maybe to like Netflix or Hulu, Amazon, Apple Music, things like that, just add those up, right? This probably cost me about 100 bucks a month in total of all the random things that I use. So in total, just in the bills, right? We're not even talking about food and random lifestyle things or traveling, right? Just in the bills for me is roughly about $2,800 to $3,000 a month, okay? Obviously, we need more than that. And remember, unfortunately, everything that we earn gets taxed. And in California, we have a very high state income tax. So at the end of the year, the state takes a big portion of your money. So let's just say I need another $1,000, $1,500 on top of that, right? So every single month, I would need to make at least $4,000 to $4,500. This is the number that I can have to kind of live within my lifestyle, doing the things that I want to do. So we have $4,500 a month, which is about $54,000 a year. Or if you want to go a little higher, you could say $5,000 a month, which is about $60,000 a year. So when those get taxed, you're losing about $10,000 to $12,000 every single year, just going to Social Security and the state, things like that, okay? Money that we're not going to see, sadly. So what careers, what jobs give us this range in my state, right? $54,000 a year, $60,000 a year. When we break down 54K and 60K a year, 54K a year is a job that will give you about $25 an hour. And 60,000 is a job that will give you about $28, $29 an hour. So that's my range, right? I need to find a career, something that I wouldn't mind doing that is preferably over 25 an hour to be able to fund my current lifestyle. So what careers give me that? What careers would I not mind doing that would actually give me that? I've literally already chosen it. I'm in school for it. Physical therapist assistant, right? This is something that I already have experience in, something that I have a passion for. And starting rates are up to $30 to $35 an hour in my city, right? That's well over what I need already. So I'm on track. And obviously things cost money, like college and programs and things like that, and it is tough, I'm not gonna lie. So there's a lot of options. Honestly, you could also consider joining the military. I always preach about joining the Air Force if you don't know exactly what you want to do with your life, because it gives you a great stepping stone and you get so much benefits after that it's almost a no-brainer if you don't know what you want to do with your life yet, okay? Might not be built for you, but just think about it. We want a job that gives us a flexible schedule, right? Maybe you can get a job where you work remote, right? After COVID, a lot of jobs kind of switched to remote work, and a lot of jobs still do that nowadays, right? State positions, jobs where you can work at home. Like, I have a lot of friends and family that work from home, okay? They have so much free time. Or you could have a job with a 4-day work week, working like 10 hours instead of 5 days, working like 8 hours. You know what I mean? So you have a 3-day weekend instead of a 2-day weekend. There's different ways to play this game that we have to play. You could go into like a trade school, become an electrician, a welder, things like that. Careers that actually pay a decent amount, right? We're not gonna get these with minimum wage entry-level jobs. Okay, working with Amazon, I only made like $20.50 an hour. You're not gonna survive off of that. You need to go to college or some type of trade school or program to earn something in order to get yourself up to that echelon of 25 to 30 plus a month. Right, this is something that you have to do. You're not going to survive working at McDonald's or in another random job with no degree, unfortunately. Unless you're like in a manager position, which isn't that bad, but is that something that you want to keep doing for the rest of your life? Probably not, okay? So I hope that I've given you some type of guidance and advice towards living a life that you kind of actually enjoy. Alright, peace.